Hey guys, this is Randy with Right Side of the Chart. Today is Friday, July 14th, 2017. It's almost 2 o'clock now Eastern Time as I'm doing this video. There's quite a few cannabis stocks that stand out to me right now. The last video I did a video update on June 23rd, so it wasn't that long ago, just a few weeks back, because they're just I've been seeing, and as I pointed out in that video, a lot of the stocks finally starting to set up for some bullish moves after the the story being the big ramp up into the presidential elections, and during that, quite a few states, I think it was 5 or so, approved marijuana recreational or legally for recreational and or medicinal use. I'm sorry. And then, of course, we had, as I talked about, the buy the rumor, sell the news event, and they sold off. Fast forward to today. There's so many to talk about, and I was going to put up some static charts, and I have created, for those gold members, I just did a video. I've created a new group within the trading room called Cannabis Stocks, so I'll start posting, because the majority of the trades, and when I started posting these stocks, the majority go in the trading room because these are small speculative companies. We're starting out here with DEWM, one of my favorites. It's a long-term position. We're buying this one, I pointed out here, on pullbacks to this level for a while, and so far, I mean, the gains have been, and this is a story with these guys. They're hit or miss. You buy 10 of them, 8 of them might crap out on you, but you only need a couple that do this. This one's gone up over, well over 700% from that buy zone and from the last breakout. So point being, they're starting to move, and that's what I'm going over today. I can't get to them all. I recommend, if you're really serious about these stocks, reference that June 23rd video on the cannabis stocks. If you have a problem finding it, let me know. I'll tell you there's a calendar function. You can also search by ticker symbol. There's a lot of ways to get to that. All right, diving into the charts now. DEWM. Let's just take a flashback and look at that video. Give me a second here. Okay, this is the video from a few weeks ago on the 23rd of June. And at the time, I mentioned that this one looks really nice because it's broken out above, a long-term. It broke out the new highs, took out some resistance. Still looks good, but at the time I said if you didn't already own it, then you don't want to chase it there. However, an objective buy point would be if it pulled back to this zone. You can see these previous reaction highs. It was at 8 cents, or 0.008, I should say, 0.8 of a penny. And that's, again, why a lot of these don't make it on as official trade ideas. This isn't a penny stock site. If you're not familiar with trading low-priced, volatile stocks, then if it's not your cup of tea, avoid those. But from that point alone, the stock has already increased, up as much as 90%. You can see the highs right there from the 8.008 level up to that 0.0015 level, so nearly a double. But more importantly, look how beautiful this technical analysis works on these stocks. They do trade very well to the technicals, and the reason is fundamentally a lot of these things are still a mess. They're not profitable. They may not be profitable for a long time. There's not a lot of information out on them, a lot of speculation and hearsay on the web. So I find trading the charts, and some of the bigger ones where I have a bigger position, I'll do my due diligence. And some of these companies are a little more well-rounded and, stable than others. But there it is. I mean, that's it. There's that support zone. We pulled back. You can see the little red candle there, and that was your entry. Now, if you bought back in there, around there, from where it popped from there, it was up 158%. So the common theme I continue to say is you don't put a lot of money in these. You take a small fraction of what you might put in any other position. But if you're targeting gains measured in the triple digits on a lot of these, it's worth it. So you're risking less capital. You can allow yourself to have a wider stop, which you need trading, a lot of these stocks. If you typically run a 5-6% stop loss maximum, don't even bother with these. You'll get stopped out on the day-to-day gyrations. But if you position size down enough, you can allow yourself for a 30-40% loss if you're shooting for a 200+% gain on these. All right, so that's DEWM. Volume, I just want to show you that it's been taking volume. There's something going on here with this company. And again, the common theme here, and the reason I'm doing this video, these names are popping, the ones that I highlighted a few weeks ago. Let's look at the next one. EAPH. That one was highlighted right here in the video. I showed you this downtrend line, falling wedge pattern. It was at support as well. I mean, that's TA 101. You have a stock. You can see the well-defined support level, this horizontal line. You can see a pretty well-defined downtrend line. Pop. And from there, this thing has run about 36, almost 40% from that support level. And that is the first target. We may get a reaction there, we may not. The thing about these stocks, when the momentum's there, they can just become overbought beyond all expectations. But again, you define your own trading style. If you're a swing trader and that's your target and you're happy with a 35% or so gain, take your profits there, or raise stops, let it run, so you can raise stops to protect your profits, and let it run, and maybe we'll hit this next target up there. And ultimately, on the companies that as time goes on and the financial markets sift through the junk and find the good ones, a lot of these stocks will be much higher than those previous highs back in either November, or some of these rallied into the end of the year, like EAPH. But again, I like it still. Would I buy it right here? No, if I didn't already own it, because we're coming up to resistance. So you either wait for that resistance level to get taken out. Ideally on a day or two. I talk about momentum fueled overshoots on these a lot. You get a strong momentum run. This one's not a very strong, relatively speaking. I'm not trying to downplay a 30-40% gain in just a few weeks, but I don't see a lot of volume there. It's not an impulsive move. Like I said, I'm lukewarm on that one, but it has played out nice. CNBX, I just mentioned this one. I think I put up a chart in the trading room the other day. I mentioned quite a few in the trading room. And again, those will start to be categorized under the Cannabis group, which will make it much more efficient and streamlined for those of you that like to trade these stocks or are looking for, whether it's long-term investment ideas or short-term trading ops. You can just click on that group, join that group, and then go in. You can sort to just see only posts made on the Cannabis stocks. And you can also get email notifications, weekly, immediately, daily, however you want them. I went over that in the video in the trading room to tell you how to sign up for notifications. So there it is. It's, support level. If I have any horizontal lines on my chart, they're either support or resistance. So this one's been dancing around that support around 96 cents. And it's at 106 now. It's also nice to see when a stock gets above that $1 level. It allows them to either avoid a delisting if they were already listed on an exchange that required a $1 share price, or get bumped up to a more an exchange with more visibility for the stock. ACBFF, Aurora Cannabis, I mentioned that back. We were buying that one at 55 cents. I talked about it. If it got above $1, that'd be bullish. And they traded above $1 long enough, and they did move up to a better stock exchange, and that one still looks good. So there's CNBX. Point is, I like it. Took out the downtrend line here, a little pop, little pullback, set up a parallel downtrend line, just like we had a parallel downtrend line there to the primary downtrend line, popped above it. You need to take out that previous reaction high around 132, and you can see my near-term targets up here. We'll go from there. It'd be nice to see the PPO get above the zero line as well, but the PPO is pointing up right now, as is the RSI, so that's another one I like. EDXC popped above. This one's thinly traded. You can just, I don't know, I can look at candlesticks right away and tell you that, even though you see the volume below, that's not a lot of volume. These are funky candlesticks that show this one's low price, very thinly traded. So either way, it tried to break out, it popped, hit that resistance level, a little momentum overshoot, pulled back down. Not one of my favorites, but I'm just going in order here. I should have showed you guys. Here's my Cannabis watch list, total of 40 stocks in there. We've gone through the top 4. I'll just highlight some of the ones that are popping right now or still look good. I try to make a point in these videos not to just not to focus on what has happened, whether you missed it or you're in it and you already got it, but more so, what are our next opportunities? And a lot of the ones that I'm pointing out here, even if they've run up 20, 30, 40, 50% or more, they still have upside potential. TRTC, this one I believe I was pointing out right here in that last video. Yep, I'm looking at a screenshot on another monitor, and pointed that breakout above the downtrend line, and here's what happened since then. The stock has run 72%. So again, The gains are big. They're low-price stocks. The risk is high. Loss potential is high as well. But if you time them right, and again, I'll say it once more, the common theme here is I'm seeing more and more of these stocks moving. Unfortunately, although there is an ETF out there that came out recently, it's not very actively traded. I don't know what it holds. It might take a while before you see an ETF, and a lot of these stocks are so small, ETFs can't really maneuver in and out of them. They have such small market caps. So I'm doing my own quote-unquote ETF by following this basket of 40 stocks and trading them, each one, not all of them, not all 40 at once, but those that stand out at points in time. And more importantly, as I say, birds of a feather flock together. So what I look for is when not just one or two are popping, but when I start to see a half dozen or more, a dozen of these things starting to move, as I'm showing you here, it's showing me that the momentum traders, for whatever reason, they're back in this sector. They're playing with it right now, and that's when you want to be in. So there it is. Nice run so far. Like I said, coming up to my target, you can see here in green, the 29.2935 level. That's a pretty significant resistance level. Obviously, bullish have taken out, but I wouldn't be buying it right under that level if you don't already own it. Maybe raise your stops or look to get it on a pullback, or eventually if it consolidates or makes an impulsive pop above that level, then that might be a buy at that time. Cara, we talked about on and off for well over a year now. And Cara, had a divergent high, had some bad news on one of its clinical trials. Long term, I still like the stock. I think the story is good. But a sharp sell-off. It's had a sharp rebound the last few days, but it's still well off the highs. And, my expectation when you see a stock after such a huge run, I mean, I was focusing on this one back here, down, in the fives. And that thing went up to 25, almost $30, 28, $30, somewhere in there. But what happens, you had a monster run and then a big move down, very impulsive selling, high volume. Sure, it's up sharp today, 12.4, and maybe that continues. Maybe this was an overreaction, but usually you see a lot of, you'll see continued increased volatility. So if you're comfortable with a stock that's going to go up or down double digits day after day for the next few days, step in and buy it, maybe put a stop under the reaction low. Personally, I'm leaning towards another thrust down or at least some consolidation, let the dust settle, and then I'll revisit Cara. I don't have a position right now, and nor do I care to at this point, but maybe soon. MJN.V, the .V would stand for, it indicates this one trades on the Canadian Venture Exchange, which is similar to our Russell 2000 a little bit, our microcap fund. And venture is just smaller companies with, less questionable fundamentals, small cap companies, aggressive stuff. But I would have to reference the old video. You can check it. I think I would have covered it here on a breakout above this downtrend line. And again, you can see technical analysis is working. What do you see? You see a breakout. Limped around that downtrend line, but then it came once the masses realized it was a breakout, boom, you see that big green candle. You can see the increased volume here. That helps to confirm a breakout. That's an impulsive breakout. You could actually draw, and you'd probably go down to a 60-minute chart and see it better. It looks like a bullish pennant, flagging action there. So this one, if this momentum continues in the sector and the bulk of these stocks, I'd expect that flag to break out and take us right up there to that 246 level. So I have actual resistance at 246, meaning I would set my stop just below that. So a lot of these, the momentum tends to overshoot. But usually on stocks, my preference is to set my sell limit order slightly below the actual resistance level in case a lot of sellers step in, take profits early. I don't want to miss a fill. I'd rather give up a few cents than have that thing reverse just shy. So there's the next target. And then beyond that, if it takes that out, you're looking at a run up to the new highs, 343. Put it in percentage terms, about 18% if it hits my first target, and about 66 if it hits those previous highs. And then from there, that's what I'll be watching for. If and when all these stocks start to move back up to those 2016 or 2017, early 2017 highs, then you'll be looking out for breakouts. And again, I don't expect it to happen in all of these companies, but there's, like I said, they're sifting out the good from the bad right now. That's what the market does. GRNH, It's at a, back here a while ago I was harping on this support level. So this one's falling. It's at support. So one option is to go long, fairly aggressive. You're catching a falling knife, but you can go long with a stop not too far below. That's 0.0386. Or a break above this downtrend line, fairly well-defined downtrend line, and that would be the catalyst for the next advance in GRNH. APHQF, nothing crazy there. I'm going through these. I'm not going to spend time on anything. I don't see anything that stands out. MCOA, Marijuana Company of America, downtrend line, starting to creep above that downtrend line, and it's holding support here. So here's one. If you want to be aggressive, take a partial position or even a full position, depends on you, at support with a stop somewhat below. Here's your next support level down here, 0.0151-ish. Or break above this downtrend line, that would pop us up to any or all of these targets, and very low price stock. MJNA, this one just broke out. You can see a downtrend line just broken out. Here's some levels to watch, and ultimately I think it can work its way up here to at least that 15-cent level, maybe back up to those old highs around 21 cents. Go through these fast. I'm not going to stop on anything that doesn't stand out to me, but again, I have so many. This one may be trying to break out. You can see the downtrend line. That's OGRMF or Organigram Holdings, excuse me. CCAN. Nice move up. Powered through that downtrend line. Came back in, back tested it. So far, so good. Consolidating. Watch this thing to see if it can break out. Almost flagging type action. Break above that little downtrend line. Take out that previous reaction high, and it can run. MGIC. That looks nice. This one's MSIG. So the symbol's MCIG. Look at that. Bullish falling wedge. Breakout, impulsive move up, some nice little tick up in volume there. Nothing like, the stuff leading up to and after the elections, but still definitely relative to the recent volume that you can see the increase there. So again, there's some momentum traders stepping in, and could be fleeting, but it could also build on itself. TWMJF, Canopy Growth, nice downtrend line. It's flirting with that downtrend line now. So if it takes that out, you have, looks like 730, what is that? 730, around the 725 or so level would be the first target. I should have put a line there. And then above that, 1012 or so. WeedTO, another one, which threatening a downtrend line. Look for a breakout there. OGI.V, venture exchange stock again. A lot of these are going to trade on the Canadian exchanges, but a lot of them have U.S. shares as well. So just type in the symbol or do a symbol search if you want to trade this one on, the U.S., probably on the bulletin boards. So that one, actually I already covered that with the other symbol. Yeah, I just did a minute ago. That was OGRMF. So this is just same stock, looking at it on the Canadian Venture Exchange for you Canucks. HMMJ.to, kind of a new company. You don't have a lot of trading history, only going back a few months, but you need to see it take out that previous reaction high. It's taken out this downtrend line. I'm not crazy about that downtrend line, but it has taken it out. So let's go on. Next one, EMC.V. There's a downtrend line. Looks like it's popping above it. It's not super well defined because we only had 3 reactions, but it is moving above it. This one wasn't super well defined either, but once it broke out from there, it might not look like much, but what is that? That's a 50+% rip. Broke out. If this breakout sticks, and I don't see why it won't, the momentum's here, this would be my first target there. I'll hit the line here and show you the pop-up box. 206. Then 256, and if it keeps going, all the way up to 350. Let's stop there. Keep this one under 20 minutes, and if I see any others that stand out, I'll either post them on the front page or more likely in the trading room, unless it's a stellar standout that meets the criteria of an official trade. But I'm trying to keep these these smaller ones off as official trade ideas, since they're so speculative. I can do this too. I sort my watch list by market cap. These are some of your bigger market caps. WeedTO, just FYI, That's a $1.3 billion company. So a little more stable there, at least by market cap. Cara, I already mentioned, that's about a $437 million company. MJN.V, it's 281 million. That I already covered that one. I covered OGI.V, 221 million market cap. EMC.V, yeah, I think I covered all those. And then the only other one that I have that even registers a market cap on this trading platform, coming in at 57 million, is this one, IIPR. This is not a direct play. This looks like, I am assuming, I haven't done my research, Innovative Industrial Properties Inc. It's in the REITs, so they probably rent space to companies that have a hand in the cannabis industry. And it has come down. There's a support level. It's at support, but not one of my favorites. All right, I'm wrapping it up here, just over the 20-minute mark. If you guys have any questions, let me know.